Right, I got it.
Truly get it all. Like, some days, I'm more in my Taurus bag. As of lately, though, I've just been, like, full Sag mode, like, I don't want to say unhinged, but in a beautiful way unhinged. Kind of, like, controlled and unhinged at the same time.
I can vibe with that.
Oh, I look good today. I hate filming when I don't have my eyebrows done. That's, like, my big insecurity. But when I do, I'm like...
Do you have bushy brows? Like,
yeah,
naturally?
Naturally, I do.
Really? What are you? What's your background?
I'm Egyptian.
Work! I used to lie and say I was that in junior high school.
Really?
I was like, I'm Puerto Rican and Egyptian.
Honestly, my sister.
Really?
Yeah, like you, I wouldn't be surprised if like you actually were Egyptian.
That's fab.
Egyptian and Puerto Rican, that's a hot mix.
That's what I thought so too, because I was so obsessed with like the Mummy, the movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned all the like the ancient Egyptian like words, and I would just say them at school. I'm like, yeah. My parents, my dad is half Egyptian, so I'm a little Egyptian.
Really? Wait, what words would you say?
Oh my God, what was the words? Ooh, it was like, it was actually a spell, I think, because it was like a part of the book of Amon Ra.
Oh, okay.
So I would just say random words from the book of Amon Ra.
That's so cute. But you were giving them ancient Egyptian. You're like, no, I'm actually
like
that's me.
This is where I came from. Those are my ashes.
Wait, I love that. You're like, no, ancient Egyptian, my ancestors and all. I know the spells, I know the tricks, I can read hieroglyphics.
Oh, absolutely. The bird.
The
it's a
bird.
A stalk. A Menaphis is a bird.
Yes, the bird. What was it? The other little symbol. They have like the little beetle thing, like the blue symbol.
Yes.
And all that. I think it's called a scarab beetle, I believe. I know I have a bunch of like little like ceramic things of those around my house. I mean like rebirth or some shit. But
ooh, that's fab.
Mm-hmm. Oh, trust. Now that I know that you're my Egyptian sister, because you just are. Now every time I have family that comes back, they always bring like little like jewelry pieces and stuff like that and cute souvenirs and stuff over there. So I'll keep you in mind.
Let me. Oh my God.
You know, like the care packages, like you always have to send for the relatives and
Yeah.
vice versa. That essentially. So they have so much extra shit. So you will be in my list.
Oh, say less. Oh, I love that.
Because it's gorge, and I only give stuff like that to people who I appreciate or people I'm crushing on.
Ooh. Ooh.
Haven't given any away as of lately, though.
Damn.
We'll see about that, though. But
it's summertime. It's getting, it's about to be that time where your crushes are about to.
You see?
You know?
I was going to say, I'm more of a summer fling kind of girl. I'm not a cuffing season lady.
Okay.
You know? So, like, when you say that, it's so accurate.
Yeah. I mean, summer, yeah. I feel like summer for most people is like, you want to just kind of be hot. So, like, my friend is doing this thing where she's getting a roster built for summer.
Really?
So she's like guy number 2 right now, and she wants to expand it to 5. Oh. So I'm like, girl, she's like, yes, my summer thing. I'm like, work. That's
cute.
fab.
I like how she's intentionally going after the roster.
Well, because I've told her for years, because she's always been so like flingy, but like at random times. I'm like, no, summertime is the best time.
Mm-hmm.
No one looks hotter than in the summer. The rest of the year, you don't look as great. You look good, but you don't look as great.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't. There's nothing hotter than the way you look in the summer.
And the way like you feel in the summer, because it's parties, and like for me, I ride on such adrenaline in a healthy way in the summer, because like we're always out, we're always doing something, so I'm kind of always on. Oh. So to like flirt with guys and whatnot, it's easy because it's like I'm already in it. Also, most times too, I'm crossed. But
well, but that's the beauty of it. Like your inhibitions are a lot lower in the summertime because you're out and about and drinking, day drinking, afternoon drinking at work. So I think that like it gives you even more like courage to like follow up with things that you probably wouldn't if you were like in your sane mind.
I
believe.
No, I agree completely. Where are you at when it comes to that topic? Relationships, dating,
I have had a boyfriend for over a year now. Well, obviously I don't parade him, but we are in a, I guess, long distance relationship, but I go to LA at least monthly, and we like have a little rendezvous and stuff, and we talk every day, and we have a really healthy relationship, I would say.
That's beautiful. How'd y'all meet? If you could share.
Yeah, I met him in Miami during the pandemic.
Okay.
You know,
A love story.
I was just like, I was like, New York is boring. Everything's closed. I'm going to go where the degenerates are. And I did. And I found my degenerate. Well, he's not a degenerate, but
Right.
it just sounds funny to say. But yeah, I met him out there at a club, at that club in Fort Lauderdale Manor.
Yep.
And yeah, he like was like, oh, and I was leaving the next day. He was like, oh, or 2 days after. And he's like, oh, what can I do to take you out? I'm like, take me out. Like, I leave in like a day and a half, and I won't be back till like probably like April or May. And this was like, I think this was like March. And yeah, he took me out. We had an amazing date. And yeah, from there and on, like, we just kind of like kept in contact from far away. And then he kind of like ghosted me for a while, which is really weird. I didn't understand why, but I didn't really like question it so much. Like, I texted him like twice, I think. And then after that, I was like, well, he doesn't live here, so I could give a fuck less. Like, that's just another guy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he just hit me up later in that summer, which is summer 2021. And I was like on my way to like Barcelona to like have like a whole trip. Not a whole trip, but it just turned out to be like very romantic.
A liberated trip.
Yes,
yeah.
It was, yeah. And when I got back, I planned a trip to see him in Miami. And then we just spent like a week together, and we just started talking and getting all those walls that I built because of that reason, and then what he was going through, and we kind of like started to really be honest with each other and knew what we wanted out of each other. And yeah, and then like in LA, I trapped him. I was like, I introduced him to a friend of mine. I was just, I'm not gonna say like this is the guy I'm flinging around. That just sounds awful.
Yeah.
So I said like, oh, this is my boyfriend. And then he was like, oh, am I your boyfriend? And I was like, well, yes.
Well, yes.
Well, yes.
Well, kind of, sort of,
well,
yes.
Kinda.
Exactly.
And yeah, and now we've been together ever since, like, inseparable. Like, I try to make it out there as often as possible. I try to do at least once a month for a few days, like maybe a week tops, because, you know, a girl busy.
Exactly.
Your girl's busy.
Exactly. It takes a lot to fly across the country.
And if it was like, you know, Miami, that's cute. It's like 2 hours. I come back. It's the same time zone. Everything's fine.
Right.
But we crossing time zones.
Jet lag for a man.
Girl, he lucky I love him, because it takes a toll, especially because I try to like extend it to the moment where I really need to be back to do a gig here. So then that gig, I'm sorry for y'all, but I'm gonna give y'all 50% or 60, which my 60 is not a typical 60%.
Yeah, your 60 is still a serve.
Yeah. So I do that, but yeah, we've been really happy. So let's see where this goes.
That's so nice. I love the fact that like you both were kind of understanding at the whole ghosting situation. Like I've been growing and maturing and realizing that lately. Like not every time somebody ghosts, it's like an instant like, oh, you have to dead him, it's over, he's a fuckboy. Like some people have their fucking reasons, you know. We're all going through our own different lives, and just because you're ghosting somebody you might have talked to lightly here and there doesn't mean it's not anything necessarily hateful or resentful.
Or it's not even about the other person or any, like, I feel like we go into these places where we feel like there's someone to blame for this, where in reality, like, you don't know what the other person that did the ghosting. Some people just don't have the same kind of communication skills that you have, or handle things the way that you would. And also some people just need to learn and grow as we continue this journey in life. And no shade, but he's also like a few years younger than me. Like he's like 4 years younger than me. So even though I did lie and told him I was like younger than him when I met him. I sure did, girl. I sure did.
You wanted him.
I was like, well, because I didn't know how old I did know how old he was, and it like freaked me out a bit, because I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I was turning 30 that year, or 31. And so I was like, let me not say anything. I'm just gonna, because like, yeah, I'm just gonna be like, oh no, yeah, I'm 25.
Hi. Honestly, genius. And it worked.
It fully worked. I think I kept it up for maybe like 6-7 months.
No way, really?
Yeah.
When did you find out? Your birthday?
Well, because my birthday was getting closer, and he was like, oh, we need to do something for your big 30th or something like that. And I was like, about that.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
So that already happened.
Like, add 2 more.
Add 2 more.
Change the candle, babe.
But it was like, he like took it like easily. It wasn't like a big deal to him at all. It was more about my insecurities about my age than and him being his age. Like, I feel like if he was older, I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm my natural age. But like, since I knew he was younger and I was interested, I'm like, this is weird. I don't want to feel like a cougar. And then he started joking around and calling me a cougar, which is fab. I'm like, I'm a fab cougar.
Exactly.
Just
exactly.
real fab.
Cougar's kind of hot.
Yeah, I believe so. I think that, you know, I've earned my age with maturity.
Right.
You know, I've gone through enough.
Exactly.
So I should not be ashamed of, you know, how long it took me to get here.
That's the thing, and it's not like he's 10 years old.
Right.
Like, he's just a few years older. I
Older.
get tripped up in that like age shit too. Like, I'll crush on a guy like 2 years younger than me, and I'm like, oh God, is he like childish? Blah blah blah. Am I the granny here in this situation and everything? And I'm like, it's really not that deep. Our generation has also been through so much. So like, even somebody maybe a few years younger than you has, you know, a higher level of maturity than what most people would think.
Yeah, and I mean, you learn that. You learn that's another thing. Like, if he wasn't mature enough, I wouldn't be able to be with someone that's not as mature or like in my level or teaches me things. Like, he just looks. First of all, he looks older than me, so that's even better. My bad. But you do. And then like he's just so smart, and he reads a lot. He teaches me all these things that I wouldn't personally like look to know what it is. But I just think it's so. And he thinks I don't listen. I do listen, but like if it's not like as interesting as it sounds, I might not keep looking like I'm interested, like I'm listening. But I do listen. I have I can multitask in that. But I just won't engage as much. So I wouldn't ask any questions. I just let him finish the sentence, and I'm like, okay, and I'll just take it in, even though I don't understand a word that just came out of his mouth. But
you're still supporting. You're still there for him. You're still present for him when he's talking about even something you don't.
Right, which is
about. That's love.
Right?
That's so cute.
That's what I said.
I've been like getting into like love languages and stuff like that, and understanding the differences between listening is definitely, I don't know if it's like technically one of them, but that I think almost works as a love language. I think
listening is very important.
You know?
When even when it comes to like friendships and stuff, like it took me a while to realize that I've always been more of a listener. So people are always like talking to me, and they think that they know so much about me, but in reality, they've been talking to me. So I've just been listening.
Yeah.
You left feeling great because, you know, I opened my ears and I let you speak, and I let you, you know, tell me everything that you're feeling or whatever you wanted to get out of your chest. But I didn't say a word. I guess that also speaks a lot about me, but at the same time, you don't really know a lot because you were the one that was, you know, talking, and it wasn't like an exchange. Right. It was more of which I have no problems with. I love listening to people speak about all types of things. I'm just there like, okay. And you know that I'm not interested when I start like looking away or looking around, because it's like, I'm like, okay, this has to come to an end at some point.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, exactly. Some people don't know how to edit and wind the story down. We love a tangent.
Yeah.
But also I don't need a scroll of the whole situation.
There's, and you know, we have to find ways to like make it stop.
Yes.
Sometimes, you know. But when I know that someone is in need of like a full like diversion of words that they just want to spread out, I'm like, okay, maybe you do need this moment to like just remove everything that you're feeling out of your chest and have it in the air so somebody knows.
Yeah, completely. What I've been doing is like when one of my friends or somebody wants to have a conversation, I'll literally ask them in the beginning. I'm like, do you want advice back, or do you just want somebody to listen? Because I'm here for both. Just let me know. And my friend will just be like, I just want somebody to listen. And I'm like, all right, timer starts now. I'm listening. And I'll just sit there, take mental notes in my head, and let them have that space. Because it's like there's two different conversations, you know what I mean? Say you're talking to your friend and they're going through something with a guy. Like, they either want to, you know, just vent, or they want advice. And that's two different ways to go about listening and managing the conversation.
And you know, but you always kind of go back to the advice, even if they don't ask for it. Like, but the thing is, it will happen again. So when it happens again, now it's my turn to interject and be like, no, boo. I already listened to you. I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're going through. You've told me. I've observed it. Now that you've put it in the air, now I'm looking for those clues that you've given me. So now I'm going to tell you how I feel about what you just did or what just happened to you.
Exactly.
That's how I feel like I react to things.
No, I'm definitely the same way too. I'll try to end each talk with some type of answer. Even if you didn't ask for one, I don't care. Just so like we don't end the conversation on like a shit note either. You know what I mean? So it's just like you bitching about your deadbeat boyfriend or whatever. It's like, try to provide some type of alternative, some type of option, some type of coping mechanism that my friend could, take away this conversation with and hopefully find the light at some point.
At some point. Because, some people are just not. They just don't want to.
No, that's what I realized. And I could be that way too, which I'm now realizing. But when did you know that your boyfriend was, I don't say the one because that's corny, but for lack of better terms, like what about him?
Honestly, oh God.
Because you're gorgeous, genuinely. Oh, and your personality is great. So it's like a lot of people would go after you, which I'm assuming they do.
Yeah.
Obviously. Well, yes.
Well, sort of, kind of.
But it's like, what about him made you look at everyone else and be like, hold on?
I think that he just sees me for who I am. You know, when you see yourself as a certain person and you don't have to tell that person what that is, and they just kind of get it. Like, they just see you, and like from the first moment we met, it was just like immediate, like just knowing that like what to like pronouns and all that stuff, which it's hard for people because he's a cis man. So like for him, it's like this is all a very new way to navigate queer life because he's never been. Not never, but like, it's not like something that he deals with day to day until he met me, because now we go everywhere. And I'm just there like the princess, like, exactly. We're here, we go to all these places, we travel a lot. It's to us, like, we live in our own little world. And then we're like, yeah, we're so traditional. But when you look at us, we're not very traditional looking people to be. You wouldn't think we were together, like, or we would go together, I guess, if you were to be looking from the outside in. And I think that he's always been so like supportive of everything I do, everything I say. He listens. Well, sort of, kind of.
Well, sort of, kind of on the listening.
But he listens to like the important things. Well, the thing is, like, I have a crazy memory, so I remember. It's insane.
It scares people, doesn't it?
Yes, and oh my God, the other day I literally remembered somebody's full name from like 12, 14 years ago, and they came to a show of mine, and I said I was like, oh my God, so. And they're like, how did you remember my name? I'm like, I don't know. And it freaks me out that when I notice that, I just freaked them out. And I'm like, oh shit, I should probably, like, I always say, if I tell you that I forgot something, I didn't. I'm lying to you. I fully remembered. I just kind of like, either I didn't want to do it. And if you didn't remind me, I wasn't going to remind you. Or like, or maybe there's a detail that I don't remember, but that's rare. I have a pretty amazing memory.
Same. I'm the same way. When I say, though, I forget something, like, I genuinely mean it. I forgot, which I will say is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime chance or rare. But when I'm like, hun, I completely forgot about that. Like, it is gone out the memory, but I'm the same way. It's so good. It comes so handy having a good memory.
Yes. I wish I could, like be like this, and it's like, oh, you didn't do that? Okay, hold on. Well, this shows me that you did know, and I did tell you.
Oh, yeah, pull the receipt right out my brain.
I would love that. If I had a superpower, that would be it. Because people try me, like, in my memory. I'm like, I know I don't remember I don't forget anything.
Yes, and it won't even be anything, like, crazy deep
or serious.
It's just, like, directions or, like, what my friend said about this, restaurant we went to. And I'm like, no, you didn't say that.
Yeah,
like, exactly. It's little shit like that. And they'll be like, no, I didn't. I'm like, I love you, girl, but you said this and this and that. Plus that.
Right.
And I remember because you were having this drink and
And you were wearing this and then.
Yes, I'm this. Yes.
It's so crazy. Like, I've never met someone that like has like such a good memory.
It's like so good. Especially like nights out and stuff and going out in nightlife too. I love it because like my friends will often ask, just be like, what about last night and things like that. And I'll have the whole night recap for them the next morning. Or I'll just bring up some shit that they don't even remember. They're like, wait, what? What happened with this guy? I'm like, you don't remember? Details and everything.
Let me tell you what happened.
Exactly. And even when I'm crossed, memory.
Oh, yes.
Still there.
The only time is when I black out, which is, as of lately, has been very slim to none, even though I did black out this past Monday. But that's neither here nor there. But if I'm crossed, I remember most of it. I used to have a better memory, but also with age, I'm sure things become, what am I, Mariah Carey, forgetful?
Suddenly, I can't read. That's the quote of hers I always bring up. I'm like, suddenly I can't read.
Suddenly I can't read. Ooh.
No, I'm the same way. For me, it's like short-term shit. Like short-term memory things, like can't remember, but long-term, I'm like, why do I remember what shirt my mom was wearing when I was 2 years old, or
I get that too.
random shit that doesn't make sense nor really is relevant
To anything,
anyone.
or
No.
it doesn't contribute to anything. But guess what? I remember. You know, something really weird happened to me the other day. I was taking a shower. I was gonna go to take a shower, and I usually wear like a platform, sort of like UGG thing, to go in the shower in. Not in the shower, but to walk to the bathroom in. I feel like I had one of those Mandela effects, because when I got out of the shower, those sandals were not the ones that I walked in, and I remember putting them on. So that's what freaked me out, because I opened the curtain and I looked down. I'm like, that's not what I walked in here with. And I was like, I know, because I took those off to put those on. Like, I consciously said, like, I'm taking these off. And I'm like, did future me come back here to do something? And was I like, you know? Because I was Charmed, so.
Yes.
So to me, I'm like, maybe
Charmed.
future me came here to like warn me about something and change my slippers for some reason. So I'm like, okay, work. I'm just gonna go by that.
Interesting.
But it was really creepy. I was like, I know for a fact.
Interesting. I need to keep an eye out for shit like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now,
Supernatural all amongst us.
No, for real. Like, the human, like, I've been saying this to my best friend Giuseppe lately. Like, we are fucking superhuman, like, all of us. It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have, like, the receipts printing out the brain superpower just yet, but, like, we have a few in our purse, you know, which I'm not mad at. I'm, like, really sensitive to time.
Oh,
so, like, I could like wake up on a day, not look at the calendar, nothing, have no actual tangible evidence as to what day it is, and be like, I feel like it was this album's anniversary 3 years ago today, or like 3 years ago today, like my grandmother from Egypt came or something, and like
That's
later on in the day, I'll check, you know, on my phone for receipts, and they'll be there and everything. It happened the other day. I was walking around here, and I was like, it feels like I started work at the Breakfast Club like on this day years ago. Check the calendar, and I was right.
That does sound like a superpower, I will say.
It's
like, it's
weird.
really, wow. Because I think mine is, I know when someone has texted me or like try to contact me, and I know exactly who it will be.
Yes.
And I look at my phone, and because I'm always on Do Not Disturb.
I was about to ask. I'm the same. I think that's what like strengthens that skill and talent, is when you're a D&D girl.
So like I look and I'm like, oh, I knew this person was gonna text me about something, or like I knew something important was gonna come through, or like I know I'm gonna receive like an invitation to do something, and I look, bam, there it is.
Exactly. How do you love the Do Not Disturb life? Because I personally,
obsessed. I can't live disturbed, so I honestly have to put my life on Do Not Disturb. It's rare when I'm not on Do Not Disturb. It's really, really rare. When I'm not, it's probably because I forgot, or just didn't think that I needed to be undisturbed, or like a day where I'm like, oh, nobody's gonna text me today. But I love that feature on anything and everything.
it's beautiful. The whole phone, not certain contacts.
No.
All of it.
Everything.
Including work. I don't care if this is filmed.
No.
Including
Because I also
work.
never liked notifications. I've always had them off since I've ever had a phone. And now that I can't even hear anything happening. I'm just like, this is bliss. And then I forget. And also because I'm also like, I may be on the phone, like on my phone doing stuff, but like it's not alerting me to like do anything else, which I love. Like,
I love it.
It's so calming. It's so peaceful.
It's so nice. I like the whole idea of a notification to me, especially with like the ringer on. That's so goofy. Like that's so 2009, you know, Verizon, LG Envy phone, getting text messages with the sound on per each message. Like so goofy, so 7th grade, so not needed.
No, Stone Ages.
Yes, truly. It's just barbaric. Like I turned my phone off Do Not Disturb the other day for 2 seconds because my friend was going to call me. We wanted to catch up. In that 2 minutes, I felt like 4 different text messages I got from other people. And I go to Giuseppe, my best friend, who religiously does not have his phone. I love him.
I love Giuseppe.
That's my sister.
Oh my God.
Of like 24 years. Like,
isn't she 24?
Lifetime. We've known each other since we were in diapers. We have like baby videos and everything.
I never knew that. Wow,
Grew up
that's
together.
fab. I love long friendships. I think they're very important. Like
Same.
people that have seen you through all your eras, through all your downs, your lows, your highs. At the moment that it was happening, not that you have to like reinform a new friend about like your full
Absolutely.
like this is why you the way you are kind of thing. Like that's beautiful to have.
Yeah, we know each other inside out. It's wild. Like we're actually like genuinely telepathic or however you pronounce it. It's crazy. But him and I don't see eye to eye on the do not disturb thing whatsoever. He notifications down.
That's me and Matthew.
Really?
He's
a
like, get
notification
off TND.
girl?
I think so. Well, she's always on her phone.
Interesting.
So like I don't respond right away because first of all it's on do not disturb, so I don't see it right away. So when I go check my notifications, I'm like, oh, she called me. So I text her. I'm like, hey, what's up?
Exactly.
You know, like it's just like Bracia's the same way. She's like, put me on the list of I can disturb you. I'm like, no. I'm like, I just don't want to be disturbed. Period.
And figure out how to get through it because there is a way.
Apparently, you have to call a few times or something, right?
Yes,
is that
you
what
have
it
to
is?
call back to back, like twice. So like the moment we don't answer, call right back, and that call will go through.
Oh, I still haven't gotten that. It hasn't gone through. No, my. Well, they never call me back to back. They just because they already know that I'm on do not disturb. So it's like.
Oh, that's
she's not gonna pick up.
Giuseppe's way of getting through to me, and he'll tell me, he'll be like, check how many missed calls you got from me, and I have like 6.
Oh my god!
But on that 7th, though, I'll answer maybe or respond with a text.
Oh my
Love you,
god,
girl.
not the 7th.
Cheers to 24 more years, but babes, like it's just not my lifestyle. But yeah, I felt like all those messages, and I was like, just feeling the phone vibrate in my pocket or in my purse.
No, it's a chop.
Oh my gosh.
It's not a good feeling. I feel naked when I'm not on do not disturb, and I can see that or feel that somebody has tried to contact me. Mm-hmm. And it might sound. I don't know why people don't like it, or like why people would not want to have that kind of peace in their life, because like it gives you leisure to answer and do things on your own time.
Exactly.
It's not like I'm ignoring you. I don't. Sometimes I just don't have the bandwidth to like have a full conversation or like answer a question because that will snowball into more and I already know and I'm just like I need time for myself. Yes. I'm always around people. My life is to be social. Mm-hmm. When I'm home, I want to be as antisocial as possible. There's times where I realize I haven't uttered a word in like 6-7 hours and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Ooh.
Well, I do the same thing.
It feels honestly like I love it. Like I think it's healthy.
I think so too. I think it's literally what you said. It's just peace, and like it sounds so preachy to be like protecting your peace, but like to me, like that's protecting my peace. Like even family. Like my father called the other day. Everyone's on do not disturb. Love him, but he's on do not disturb too. And he's like, "Why aren't you answering?" And I'm like, "I'll get to it in a few. I'm out." You know, like we live in the city. Like so, we're on the train. Like I'm not gonna be that person that's on the phone on the train.
Oh no.
Because we're gonna go underground. And it's gonna disconnect. You. It's so goofy.
Yeah.
It's so unnecessary.
I love goofy though.
Because like there's certain things that are stupid, ridiculous, corny, but something that's goofy is vividly goofy. Like I say that word and I mean it. That shit is so goofy.
Oh God, I love it. That's such a New York thing to say too, though. I feel like everybody.
Is it really?
Well, yeah, because in high school I remember that was like people would be. People always just say like, "Oh, you mad goofy for that."
Right.
You mad goofy for that.
I've always loved that word because it's so descript. It's so descript. That and corny are just the two
corny.
things.
I really like. I remember growing up and not liking that word. Like I felt like corny was a little weird, but now, I'm just like, when it's really corny, like I have to say it. Like
exactly.
Because it is.
Exactly.
When something's really corny, you know, and it kind of gives you like an ick of sorts.
Yes. What are your icks, if you had to say?
I feel like I what is that word? My icks are I don't know actually. I don't like a lot of. It might sound like weird, but I don't like a lot of attention all the time. Like it has to happen when I need it.
Yes.
Right. And I know people say you're a Leo, you want attention. I'm like. Not necessarily. The thing is, like, what you have to when people say that, and when I say no, what you have to take in consideration is like, look at me. I'm gonna attract attention regardless.
Oh yeah.
So sometimes I just want it to be a little less than usual, you know, like, or when I want more, then that's when you see that I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna be loud.
Yes.
I'm gonna be very present and very in your face. But for the most part, I like to just be kind of like, not under the radar, not over the radar, but just enough on the radar, you know? I also, like, I'm not very affectionate. I don't know. Like, I could be, but, like, you also have to let me do that. Like, don't, like, ask me for,
like you'll get to it at your time.
Yeah. I think that. And I also, like, I hate when, this is my biggest ick. When people repeat themselves. As if I didn't hear you the first time.
Yep.
Like I said, I have a great memory, so I know that you said that already. Exactly. You've said that before.
Exactly.
Don't say it again. Because it's like, my boyfriend does it all the time. It's like he'll tell me a story that he's told me like a few times before. And then I'll say, oh, I know. And if I tell you I know, that means wrap it up. We don't got to finish the sentence. Like, I already know what's going to happen. I can tell you what's going to happen. He'll continue telling me the story until he's finished. And I'm like, and that's why I look like I'm not listening, because I'm just like, I already heard this. Because
you have me seated here for a rerun.
Right.
I've heard 20 times.
Right. I'm like, I know, I heard. Like, but everybody does it. Like, I realized everybody that I know does it to me. And I'm like, did they forget that we had this conversation a couple weeks ago? Oh, you told me the story. I already know about the story. Yeah. I don't know. That's my biggest ick. It's like when people repeat themselves or make me repeat myself or do things over and over again.
Yes.
That's my thing. I think repetitiveness as a whole, I hate.
Same.
I can't do it.
Because if somebody's speaking, I will listen regardless. Yeah. Even if I don't care, then I'll just throw that thought out. But like, I'm listening.
I'm going to keep it till I need it. Kind of like when you study for a test. You keep the information, you retain it till you need it. You write your answers, gone. For the most part.
You know what I do now for people that like repeat themselves or like will repeat something to me that I already know? I will finish the sentence happily for them. I had managers at my last job and shit like that, and people above me, they would be like, oh, did you do the, and I'll fully like Devil Wears Prada be like, oh, the so-and-so and so with this and that.
That's fab. I do sometimes,
like,
but like I feel like sometimes they still don't get it, and they have to get it out. I'm like, why do you need to get it? You already got it out. You already told me.
Yeah, people get very confused by us demure ladies. I realized they really don't think we're listening just because we're.
Yeah.
That's us listening. We're being active listeners. How else are you
supposed to look like when you listen? Are you supposed to talk back and cut them off? You know?
Exactly.
That's how I feel. Like, I mean, I try, like, sometimes I'm like, maybe I'm being a bitch, so maybe I should just let them finish the story for the third fucking time. But sometimes I'm just like, no. I'm like, oh, yeah, and the rabbit fell, right? Okay, work.
Exactly. Like,
you told me.
Like, I tuned in the first time, babes. I'm listening.
I love the rerun one. I'm going to use that one.
Wasn't
one
that
so
fierce?
hard. That was so fierce.
That
was so cunt. Like,
wasn't it?
That was so cunt.
You had me seated for a rerun. I saw that word splat on the floor, and I looked, and I was like, she was kind of crying.
You ate that one, mama.
Just a little bit. The sugar-free Red Bull's kicking in, which I thoroughly enjoy.
I quit Red Bull. Like, it's just, I mean, they follow me on Twitter, so don't unfollow me. But
oh shit, you need to DM them for me. I need a sponsorship.
Oh, girls, same. Pride is coming up, girls. Send me. I mean, I love Red Bull. Red Bull is everything. It gives me wings.
Exactly.
No, but like my heart, like after the shot that we got for the COVID stuff.
Really?
Like, I've heard about a lot of incidents where people have had like heart attacks at a young age, and also like Red Bull is just like, it really adds to that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to substitute. Even though a drink with Red Bull is the best drink ever, I will have to say, like, a Hennessy Red Bull, girl, you will get your motherfucking life. Yeah. But I had to like reel it back in because I'm a woman of a certain age and I can't be having no heart attacks out here. You know, it's you know, I'm trying to be healthy and stuff. I'm trying to survive for another, like, what, 25 years?
Yeah.
I'm giving myself, I'm counting.
More than that.
I just don't want to be, like, old.
No.
You know, like, look it.
Yes,
you know?
Exactly.
Or, like, feel it. Like, whenever I, like, look at, like, a poor little old person, like, on the street with a cart or just by themselves walking because they need to, like, stretch their legs, I'm like, God, don't let that be me. I deserve better. And I put my legs through hell with like with life. So I know that I'm gonna be one of those bitches with like fucked up joints,
Same.
just like walking around like with a limp. Oh, could be a cute little limp actually.
You know, I think
Like a
sometimes a
pimp
little limp. Yeah, right. I think a limp is sometimes hot. Like whenever I fuck up my ankle or something and I have a little limp the next day, I think it's kind of hot. It makes me look like
Character.
exactly.
Yeah, like they're like, what was your plot? And you're like, oh well, here it is.
Exactly.
I guess-
I was just on a jog and I
You know,
landed my foot the wrong way.
a bike hit me, an electric city bike hit me, and I'm kidding,
Wow.
but I've been hit by a bike before, and
Really?
yeah, in Puerto Rico. When we were
Damn.
kids, we were playing around and being stupid, and like this guy on a bike just kind of like hit me, and I flew. But and then my
Damn.
grandmother was like, "Oh my God, what am I gonna tell your mother?" Because I was visiting for the summer, and it was a mess. I was just limping for a little bit, but then the week after, me and my ex got into like a motorcycle accident, and so like I fell and slid, and like my whole side was all scraped. And then I think the week after that, I had to come to New York for school for the first day of school. It was just a mess. I was such a messy teenage, like preteen, I guess, because I was like 12, just giving it, just being rambunctious.
Hot though.
It's so hot.
Good, like what you were saying before we filmed, like good content for the memoir. for
Literally, the
doc and all
memoir. We gotta
that.
work on the memoir, the plots. There's gonna be multiple plots.
Exactly.
We gotta talk about them. We gotta bring them to light.
Exactly. The
in writing.
documentary
The
narrated by Brazier
documentary.
Ray, the one and
Ah,
only.
yes, my sister writing it all. I know she's writing right now.
Ugh.
She good at that.
Love her. How was childhood, like preteen era for you?
Oh, it was honestly, it was a lot of fun. I spent a lot of time in Puerto Rico. I grew up between here and there, and I would go there every summer after I was moved here because I didn't choose to come here.
Understand.
Like Naomi Campbell said, I didn't want to be here, so I was made to be here. So
Yeah.
I would like to get this over with and get on with my life. But I was moved here, and I mean, I'm glad that it happened because, you know, I learned English, and, you know, like I have a good life and all that. And like, and I know Spanish fluently, which is fun. But we grew up like, I grew up with my cousins. Like they were like my friends when I was growing up. And then when I came here, it was hard. It was harder to make friends because, you know, you don't know English so well.
Yeah.
And then you're dark skinned, so everybody assumes you do. So people are just saying things to you, and you're not responding back. So people are like pushing you and like saying things, and you're like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
But my childhood was really fun. I had a really good time. When I moved here, I became a real big fan of like MTV and TRL.
Yep.
And I actually got like a fake ID to go see like the Black Eyed Peas, Gwen Stefani. Like I was there like almost every day after school.
No
with my
way.
sister. I saw Rihanna perform at a Toys R Us across the street from the MTV studio from Viacom. And she was doing the Upon the Replay. She had no wig on. She just had like her natural hair. It was a bob. I have like camera like photos of it.
Yes.
Just like she was so young. She was probably like 16 and I like you needed to be 16 to go to TRL. I was like 14. So like my sister got me a fake ID, which would just take me.
Yes.
And it was so much fun. Like
Wow.
so much fun. Like I would do like I was a huge fan of like Ashley Simpson.
Yes.
So whenever she released her album, I saw her everywhere she stepped foot in New York. I literally thought I stalked her.
Really?
Stalked. I mean, that album is still like one of my favorite
Like
albums
Pieces
ever.
of Me, so
Yes.
good.
So
And
good.
the other one with Lala after it, like Lala is a
Yes.
bop.
Ugh, she ate that album up. Like even
Yep.
the deep cuts are like, so
Yes.
good. And I was going through my angsty phase, you know, just like shopping at Hot Topic
Exactly.
and dark eyeliner and spiky belts.
Oh, all
you
of
know,
it. The
all of
boobies,
it.
bracelets, and everything. That
Oh
was
my
later,
God,
but yeah.
the Converse with all the lyrics written on
my
them and
gosh,
your
that's
friends sign.
right.
No, that was a time. Ooh, yeah.
Wow. TRL.
TRL.
When you said that, like, I got chills. Like, that was my lifelong dream. Like, when I tell you, like, I was raised
T.
by TRL.
T.
Like, it's in my cover letter. Like, I would run home every day from school to make it in time for TRL.
Because it was at like 3:30, right? PM?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
exactly. That's where I saw Britney for the first time, and I just knew
Oh, me too.
all of it. Wow.
Oh, you're a Britney stan, right?
Down.
Same. She raised me.
Really? What's your
She
favorite?
absolutely. Oh
Britney
my God, you
song.
can't ask me that.
Or Britney album.
Britney album.
Because that
I
tells you
think-
like what kind of girl you are.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna do the greatest hits album because it has
My prerogative.
everything
Okay,
in
you
my-
genius.
Mhm.
And the cover's kind.
And the cover's fab. You saw that jacket with
Yes,
the big with
exactly.
the big hair. I'm like, Miss Britney, girl,
Oh
you
my
ate that.
gosh.
You ate that little one.
The hat on her, that hair on her is everything.
And the abs. I'm like, girl. She was the reason why I got my belly pierced at like 17 or 18.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, I need my stuff. I need my belly pierced. I need it. She's mother. Crazy mother, but mother.
But mother.
Period.
People like that's the thing. Like kids don't understand.
Oh, they will never understand.
They don't understand the takeover, and I'm like, oh my God, I sound like an old gay talking about Judy Garland. You know what I mean? But it's
Well,
like
for us in our generation, like that's who we looked up to. Like the closest to her to like another legend was Madonna, but she was like 10 years younger, like 10
Yes.
years before that. So like I grew up with Britney. I was like 8 when she came out.
exactly at
You
that
know?
point, like Madonna was already doing like her winning lap around
Yeah.
the industry and just like doing shit just to do shit at that
Right.
point, which is crazy and amazing. But like we were raised on that girl. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody understands like the level of takeover that girl had. Like she was everywhere.
She was literally like the staple of my childhood, and that whole like rivalry with her and Christina, like I didn't really care. I honestly thought that like Christina was like I would listen to her because of her voice, and then when she got dirty, I was like, now that's what I want to see.
Stripped. Hello.
Stripped. That whole album also, it was chef's kiss. It was like a masterpiece, like vocally, like the sound, like it was
Yes.
just so new, so raw.
Yes.
And she was so in love, and then she wasn't.
No, infatuation. Yeah,
Infatuation.
exactly.
I actually know the guy who she wrote that about, who's Adrian Bailon's cousin, I think.
No
Yeah,
way.
he used to work with me at Bloomingdale's when I had a day job. Yeah, he was like her
What?
backup dancer on Dirty with the braids.
Oh, that's right.
I can't remember his name right now. I think it's like Jesus or something like that. But he's like so much fun. He's so cool. He's lived a lot of lives.
Wow.
But yeah.
Imagine having one of Christina's best songs, and that's about you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you
The
know you
Spanish
lived.
Lover.
Oh my gosh, the interlude that comes right before it. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that album. That's the thing. Like, love Britney, but like, if I was Britney around that time and I heard that album, I would be shaking a little bit.
What
my
was Britney
boots.
doing around that time? That was like 2002.
2002, yeah. So the
So-
self-titled album was already out.
Okay.
And she was on the Dream Within a Dream tour.
Tour. Oh, which was my biggest regret was not going. I mean, I was 12, so I couldn't really like do much about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember when it came out on HBO.
Yes. Live
And
from Las Vegas.
I recorded on my VHS, and then I
Yup.
bought it on the DVD. And I learned like that part with her, and she's like dancing against herself in the big TV.
Yes, for Lonely.
For Lonely.
Ah!
Oh, just eating it. Oh, come on.
So good. That whole section, my favorite from that show is What It's Like to Be Me.
Oh my
she
God.
was mad
And
as
she
hell.
was feeling it. And then when she tripped, she kind of tripped.
Yes, and she landed in hair up. And,
Yes.
oh my God, people.
Don't you wanna be my man?
The
Oh, she
slow-mo thing,
ate.
hair sweaty and everything.
The green
makeup
pants
smearing
were
off.
a serve with that top that was like
Yes.
one side and like a rip in the middle.
With the little hand gloves.
She knew.
She knew.
No, my favorite was the entrance of that whole show was fab.
With
when she
Oops.
was like on the wall and it was like oops. I was like, oh my God. I'm actually doing oops for Nikki O's show coming
Oh,
up.
screaming. You know I'm there.
Oh girl.
I'm-
it's gonna be fab. It's gonna
I'm
be so much fun.
not ready for that. There's nothing I love more than like artist dedicated events, let alone like Britney ones.
Oh,
I'm at
Britney is
every
the
single one.
I would never say no to a Britney show ever. Like,
Never.
I can do deep cuts. I could do the top, whatever. Like just
Mm-hmm.
give it to me. I know. I'm like one day I want to do like Cinderella or Bombastic. Bombastic is one of my favorite songs from her. Actually, the self-titled album was really great.
I was gonna say you're very much a self-titled album. Girly.
Yeah, definitely.
I see that. You did Slave for You Too at the last year's
Yes.
Night of 1,000 Britneys.
And that was fun. I was like, I actually called Mariah and I was like, can you teach me the choreo like step by step? Because I know it, but I know that like when you get up there, you also get choked up.
Yes.
So she like sends me a video of her doing it and like step by step. And Shout out to my sister because she got me together, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna kill this.
She said it's left palm, right palm. It's things that queer people never forget.
No, literally.
It plays when I'm at the gym, and I'll be like, walking the treadmill, and I'm still just like.
I love seeing those videos of like guys that live in like Texas or something, and they're like in full cowboy outfits, and they break into the whole choreography, and they like clear the room. They're like, "Let me show you how it's done." They take off their cowboy hat, and they're like, wow.
Exactly.
And I'm like, yes. We love.
That's mother.
Yeah,
like I could go on and on and on and on
Trust.
and on and on about that lady. Who else did you look up to?
It was definitely like the pop girlies for me. I didn't get into like a lot of the classic women until later in my life. Like Whitney, I got into like in my 20s and stuff like that. But like in my teens, it was Britney, Ashley, Jessica, a little bit. Beyonce for sure. I was a Destiny's Child stan. I had every album.
What's your favorite album?
I think Brandon's on the Wall was really good. But also Destiny Fulfilled. They actually they ate that one because it really felt like it was it. Like that was they did what they could have done together.
Yep.
And it was like their thank you to us.
Yeah.
And I fully received it that way because I'm like, yeah, y'all all great do things like separately and together, but like this brings everybody's new sound into one album.
Yep.
And it shows that, like, because at first you couldn't tell that they were all very well choreographed either, because they wouldn't do like super heavy choreography in their songs until Beyonce came out with Crazy in Love, and she was like, every song a dance break. I was like, okay, work.
Down.
So when she brought that into Destiny's Child, I was very impressed.
Exactly.
With Lose My Breath.
Exactly.
Because I was like, oh, the girls are dancing,
exactly.
like for real. And so I think that Destiny Fulfilled is actually like a masterpiece for them.
I think so too.
And it just wraps up their whole career as a group, I think.
Beautifully. Even the name and everything. Like, and you know, I remember that time so vividly.
Oh, yes.
Because like people don't realize like that was post Crazy in Love. So it's like we've seen Beyonce launch into the world and like be who she is, who we know her now to be. But it's like to come back and still make that masterpiece with the other girls and show all the other girls so well and so beautifully. Like the album has like bops, but it also has some of their best deep cuts.
It really, really,
If T-shirt.
Like, I was gonna say T-shirt.
Oh, T-shirt. T-shirt is for a particular type of lady.
Yeah.
And I'm that kind of lady.
Oh, and I like that they picked the right singles too, I feel. It was just I loved it, like especially like Girl. Did you see that one video where Beyonce's yelling and they take out all the music and it's just like her singing?
Yes.
And it's just literally her yelling at Kelly.
Yes, in the middle of brunch.
Yes,
just out of nowhere.
Which is not like so far fetched. Like I feel like that happens to us all the time.
Every weekend.
Yeah.
Every weekend, and if we're not at brunch, then it's happening in my living room Saturday morning after the Friday night excursion. Of whatnot, and the Sex and the City reference in the video.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I didn't catch that until I'm gonna say it right now, because I know somebody said something about that before, and it kind of just like, even when I watch the video now, I'm just like, I get it, but like now you saying it just makes more sense to me for some reason.
Yes,
I think it's the way you speak. You have a very well spoken voice, so like I believe everything you said.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna use that for my own good now. Okay, hot. No, but I'm like the same way, because I remember like around that time I was like, this looks like that one show, and then my manager here at the studio was playing it. I just looked at the way like the opening credits are falling, and I was like, in the slow-mo shots of them stepping out the cabs, I'm like, this looks like Sex and the City. And I'm like, oh wait, 2005. Oh, okay, that's the whole point.
And the movie came out shortly after, no? Or was the show still airing?
I think the movie came out like 2006, 7, something like that. So literally like right around that time though. What a childhood we had. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, no wonder we're so where we are in terms of like technology and social media presences and stuff like that. It's because we grew up with all these girls, and we grew up with
honestly, they were mother. We had so many mothers.
We did.
We were mothered out, bro. Like,
no, girl. Literally. Because not many now are mother. We have a lot of potential mothers. This is a potential mother.
I feel like everybody that's but everybody that's mothering the children now are our mother's kids. Like the Ariana.
Yes, exactly.
You know, everybody has their Britneys, their Beyoncés, their Ariana. Thankfully, like Beyonce's still kind of like doing her
Mother.
thing and still very current with her music and stuff. But like Ariana's like mother for like a lot of people.
Yeah.
I actually don't know any other people, so I think Ariana's the last pop girl I know. I don't know anybody new, like for the last 5-6 years.
I'm an Ariana stan. She's one of my mothers too.
She's fab. She really, really aces.
She's
And every time I see her interviews, I really, really enjoy them.
Same.
Which is rare because like, I don't know. I didn't picture her to be that person who she is. And she's actually really funny, really cool, really fun. She really is. She actually does give that like, oh, I don't give a fuck type of attitude that like the girls back in the day used to have. That's very seamless. Like, oh, that doesn't really bother me. Type of thing. I love that. So such ease.
Yeah, especially somebody at like her level.
Yeah.
You know, like she's always just kind of like been her in a way. She's gone through different trajectories and whatnot in her career, but like what I love about her and that I remember, I'm like, she's just like a Boca girl. Like when you just see her in her element, just talking with like her deep voice, it kind of gives me like Paris in a way, where like Paris has the voice she puts on and then she's actually talking like this. That's Ariana in all of her interviews, and I'm like, I like that girl.
I like her. I do like her. I like her a lot of music. I like a lot about her. I like her. She's the last pop girl I like. I could say that. Out of everybody else, I don't know who anybody else is coming up in the pop in like world outside of her. I think everybody else is kind of like sort of indie, but not really because they're like famous enough. But I don't really like. I don't dig into them. I guess. I don't know.
No, I'm the same way. It's like I call those girls just like cousins at this point. Like there's mothers, and then I'm like, oh, she cousin that down.
Oh,
like,
cousin that no. Oh my god. You ate that one. You ate. She cousin that down.
I think who said somebody. I think it was Zachary Campbell that called Ariana cousin years ago because he was watching like the Dangerous Woman thing, and he would do all those reaction videos. He's like, wait, this is mother. And he's like, cousin, but so that's my remix
but that's
on
fab.
it.
That's fab.
Yeah, I'm like the other girls are cousins now, which I'm not mad at. There's room for a cousin.
Someone I did grow up with too, and I always I don't know why I forget about her. There's no reason for me to forget about her because I listen to her every day. Shakira.
Mother.
Fully. I literally listen to her every day, like from her first album all the way to like whatever's going on now. I don't really like that new one that people are obsessed with.
The one that she wrote about her ex, yeah.
I mean, I like it, but I probably listened to it maybe like 5 times.
Yeah, people don't realize, like, outside the U.S., like, people don't realize, like, she's the biggest star in the world.
She's literally the most famous person in music.
Like, they don't realize that.
They play her in every single country, and she speaks, like, 5 different languages. Like, she has albums that we don't even know about because they just release it in whatever country that she... she's just fab.
Exactly.
She is
love her. I love her type of fame in a way.
Because it's also very low-key if you think about it.
Yes.
But she's... Literally everybody knows who Shakira is.
Would you want that type of like that Britney level of fame, or would you want a Shakira-esque?
I think Shakira, because I feel like Shakira could show up anywhere and be like, oh my gosh, Shakira's here. And she could also just show up anywhere and just be like, oh, hey girl, what's up?
Exactly.
Come in here, let's go shopping. Let's do things and people won't really like necessarily like, stop you or have paparazzi or stuff like that. Because that whole paparazzi fame thing is just, I can see how annoying that could be. You know, like just not like people just taking random pictures of you. You don't even know what you look like in them pictures, and you're just there like trying to just get out of the car. Because let me tell you, it's very hard to look really good getting out of a car.
Yep.
I have to say.
Oh,
especially like if you wear a skirt or a dress, like you need to rejudge. You know, you can't just raw dog away out of a car. That's why like at the Met Gala they don't come out until like they're in the carpet.
Exactly, and they're all in those sprinters that they can stand in. You know.
Everybody looks crazy coming out of a car. Yeah. Except Rihanna, but she can't look crazy.
In anything. I'm like, for me, it's always getting out the back of a car when you're on the opposite side. God. I miserably fail at that. Like, every single time my friends and I go out, and we'll be pulling up to, you know, the most luxurious prestige place ever, aka the Rosemont. And I'm like really trying to like give it to the girls waiting outside. I'm like, oh, wait until I step in these. I just dusted these off with the Lysol wipe. Let's go. And I'm fucking getting my foot stuck in the dashboard and everything, slipping, a tip falling out. And I'm like, this is not what I thought was glamour.
Luckily, it was just for the Rosie.
Yeah, exactly. Most people hopefully were drugged out anyway, so they don't have much type of
recollection.
memory. Where's your favorite place to go out here? Because you're everywhere.
I do, but I for me to go out, honestly, I'm gonna quote Mother, and I'm gonna say Sasha Colby. She's like, if I'm not working, I like to stay home. Like, that's my idea of a good night out, is staying in, because like I'm out all the time. Even though when I do go out and I'm not working, it's still kind of fun. But I'd rather just like have like intimate times with my friends, like or by myself, honestly. But if I had to choose, I do miss partying uptown. I used to party uptown, like in the Dykeman and Inwood area a lot when I was growing up, in the scene. But I like Hush, cause Hush. Oh no, I do like Hush, but like Hush when it's like Bridge and Tunnel time, which is like the weekend, I avoid it because these kids just have no manners.
I know,
girl. Like they just have no decorum. Like what is going on? What is happening in Jersey and in Long Island? Y'all don't got like.
Right.
I don't know. They just push you. They have like they have like no sense of like I'm sorry or excuse me or anything. It's just very rude. But yeah, I would say anywhere that's like a bar that you can actually hear the other person speak.
I see. Yeah, I love Hush, but like that's the issue that I run into there a lot, especially like you said, like a Friday or Saturday when it's busy. Like the girls don't do excuse me anymore.
Yeah, I like it on a Thursday, not just because I work there on a Thursday, but Thursday's like the Latino night.
Thursday's
so
cute.
Like it's just be like good music, good vibes, and we just party and we have a good time. And I'm already out, so I might as well stay for the party.
Exactly.
But I mostly like to do like things like when my friends throw events like Damn Steven and Lucas Skywalker have that DL Presents parties that they throw.
Yep.
And I like those things. Like I'll go. I'm definitely going. Poppy Juice. You will not catch me missing that party. I will be there. Okay.
Same.
Like things like that, where like they are like making space for like black queer people and people of color. Like where I know I'm gonna dance because the music that they play is gonna be bop after bop after bop.
Exactly.
And well
it's
mixed.
Not just a random, bar or club night. Everyone's, on things and can't remember.
Yeah. And it also feels like an event. Like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to Poppy Juice tonight. Oh, I'm going to Mercury and Reggaeton tonight. It's just like it feels like you're going somewhere as an event instead of like, oh, I'm just going out tonight. It's Friday night.
Exactly. I still need to get to Mercury.
Oh, girl, you'll get your life.
Oh, I know. I need to go.
You will get your life. You need to go.
I need to.
I think they're having one. I'm not here that weekend, but they're having one on the 1st of June. I think it's called Eclipse, or the 3rd of June. But I think it's all kind of like in conjunction of like, I like their themes of like, astrology and all that. Like it all makes so much sense. It's very smart. And it makes a lot of sense. I do enjoy those parties a lot. Like, and they're friends of mine, so like they know how to party because we've partied together for years now.
Yeah.
So like we all kind of know what we like, and we like pretty much the same kind of thing. And we go to the same events regardless. So
that's the thing. It's like if we're partying, we're partying.
Right.
If not, we're staying home.
Yeah. Like I want to be guaranteed a good time. How about that? Save me some good time.
Exactly.
I want some good time. I provide some good times for some people. Why can't I have a good time?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't need to be on our phones the whole time, or like just let the music be good. Nothing needs to be that deep. No boy drama. No nothing.
No. You could create the boy drama there. Just like add something to your roster.
Exactly. And then
don't come in here saying blah 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 blah. He's not talking to me right now. Okay, then don't. Let's go shake this ass.
Exactly.
And we'll deal with it later. And maybe you'll find somebody to make you forget about so and so.
Oh, Poppy Juice is the best place.
I know.
The best place for that.
When I was single, girl, I was just there giving it. Baby, cover your ears. I was just there I was just having a ball, pun intended. A few. Those were the days, and it was always a Poppy. It was always a Poppy Juice.
Always.
Literally, like it's just kind of like where you find either your fling or your significant other. I know a lot of people that have probably started dating after they met at Poppy Juice.
Aww.
So it's fab. I love that party because it's also very spacious, and you get to, if you meet somebody, there's space for you to go outside and talk.
Yes.
And have a kiki and all that stuff. So like that, it all ties into like the experience of Poppy Juice, which I adore.
Same.
Like it's like you go inside, you party, you dance, you drink, da da da. You go outside, you go for a smoke break, you meet a person, you ask for a lighter, you meet another person, you know, you have that connection, chemistry, what have you, and you just end up, you know, having a fabulous morning at, you know, the bread and breakfast nearby.
I've had that kind of night many a times.
Love.
At Poppy Juice. I love it. I'm like the mother of my group. I keep everybody, you know, their tabs all checked and whatnot. But when we're at Poppy Juice, I'm the first to go missing.
Oh, baby, we love it.
This is so-and-so. I just met him upstairs. That's me as hell.
But
good
because
times.
if it also like when you're there, the venue itself, it's like you're in Alice in Wonderland. So
It's a
like
playground.
You walk 4 steps and you're like in a random bathroom with like 17,000 stalls.
Yep.
Then you turn the corner and there's like a little mini living room. Then you turn around and there's like a green room. And it's just
Yes.
like, oh my God, where did I turn?
I love that though.
Yeah.
I love that about it. It feels almost like a high school in a way. Like
Yes.
when we're outside and like we'll just be sitting there at that point in the night when we're all just like crossed down and just kind of like there. I'll look and I'm like, I look at the staircase and everything and people just say outside. I'm like, this feels like we're at like a queer high school.
Imagine that.
I know. I was just thinking about that. We're telepathic. Wait.
Wait. We should need to make that
Make that.
happen.
Interesting.
Let's see how this turns out.
That would be really
That would
cute.
be fab. That would be real con. Like, we could call it cunt elementary or cunt school of Contressa.
School of Countries.
School of
Countries. Educountrin. I'm trying to think how to fit the word cunt into something. That word just tastes so good.
I know. Yeah. Cunt. Real
It's
cunt.
so good. It's so hard not to say to my mom or something. you
Well, I
know?
speak to my mom in Spanish, so I wouldn't even be able to say it. But
Well, yes.
I know there's times where like I was having an interview yesterday with some like magazine, and I wanted to say cunt so bad, but I'm like, what are they gonna say? Like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna write? So I just kind of kept like trying to reword it into like, yeah, it's magnificent.
Oh. Synonyms. Cunt
Right.
and magnificent. Honestly, yes.
Honestly,
Well, yes.
yes.
Well, kind of, sort of.
Well, kind of, sort of. Yeah, I cunt is just a part of my vocabulary, and like I wish I could find a way to put it in like a Spanish way.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I mean, how often do I speak Spanish though? You know.
Yeah, it's hard to even hear at like the studio because most of my coworkers love them, but they're all straight. And you know, I'll be fixing like angles for something, and I'll either be like, "Yeah, that's cute," or like if I do something with the lighting, I'll be like, "That's kind." They're just like, "Huh?" And they don't know how to react to it, and I'm like, "Oh, it's fierce," and I'm like, "Fierce doesn't even."
I don't. Yeah,
It
I
doesn't
feel
taste
like
the
fierce
same.
for them is like even they're like, they still don't get it.
Yeah, even cute. Like I realize that like straight people are so different.
Oh my God, I
Isn't it
say
wild?
cute to my boyfriend about random things. I just like I'll be like, oh, that's mad cute. And he's like, how is that cute? I'm like, what do you mean?
It's like cute, like meaning like, oh, acceptable, lovely, pleasant.
Yes, good.
Yes, it's even just like an affirmation. Like somebody's like, oh, you're 3:30 rescheduled. Okay, cute.
Yeah, honestly, like yes. That I feel like that makes sense in my fantasy. I feel like it makes sense
everything.
in all of our fantasies. Like
Yes.
I feel like when people don't say it, I'm just like, I mean, I don't think about it, but like if I say it and if you are questioning it, I'm like, there's something wrong with you. Because
Yep.
I think that this is a normal way to speak,
Yes.
you know?
If not, then I'll do my best to, like what you said, convince the person that you're thinking on the same wavelength as I, and I won't have to educate you.
Right.
Hopefully not. And if so, then open your book, babe. Let's read. Let's read, doll. But yeah, cute is everything. Everything is cute. Everything is mother.
Everything is
Not
fat.
everything is
con.
cunt.
Not everything's con.
Not everything's kind.
No.
Everything could be mother, and it needs to. Because I have a lot of like mutuals and stuff that'll be like, you call everything mother, and I'm like, well, yes, everything could be mother if it wants
Right.
to,
Yeah.
and if you want it to be mother.
You could work that way. You could work towards that. I support it.
Exactly. All cousins could be mothers.
Cousins grow up to be mothers. You know, it's
You're
just
speaking for me. Exactly.
it's honestly like it's dialogue. It's English.
It's
the English language.
dialogue. Exactly. It's just, you know, the dialect. It's history.
Yeah.
It's all there. When did you get into performing? Also, because I know you've been a nightlife girly. I knew you mostly as a nightlife diva.
Yeah.
Like I would always just see you out and about, and then you started performing, and I was like, Now that's
Yeah.
kind of, speaking of.
Now that's calm. I mothered that for sure.
Down.
So I think what happened was I was working a lot with Matthew, Babe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we were like going all over the place. We would go to like, I think he did like a party for Coachella, and I was performing with him there. Like I was just like on stage. So like I was just on stage so much that it just kind of like started to make sense to just kind of like do it. But I never really like, I was like, okay, but how do I go about it? I don't know any like like I don't know any, I knew drag queens, but I wasn't like close with any or anything. So then I spoke to, I kind of put it in the back burner, and then I started doing that hosting gig at the Dream Hotel, the Dreamland parties.
Yep.
And I was literally just there dancing my ass off for like 4 to 5 hours in my heels. You know, I had my hair on, I had my outfits looking con. I was always like in like a little belt top or something. And Frankie comes to me, he's like, have you ever thought about performing? He's like, I see you here every Sunday. You're giving it your all. You're literally performing for these people for hours. Why don't you just do like a number or two for me at Metro? I was like, I'd be down. So he got me to do a number at Metro Central, which was the party that he had with Candy Muse and Chanel Number 5. So I did a number. I did like a whole Rihanna thing. Matthew made my mix. And I was just so nervous because it was so long. And I was like, but I'm like, why? Like, it was full, like, it was packed to the brim. Like, everybody showed up. They were like, it's like the debut of Beau Jangles as a performer, like, on my own. So that was my first one. And then I did 2 more, and then the pandemic happened. Which is funny because, not funny, but which is weird because, like, I had just quit my job at that point. Me and Matthew had this, like, crazy conversation. He was like, what are you going to do with your life, sis? Because you have this day job, da-da-da. We got into, like, this, like, crazy, like, conversation about, like, what could potentially be my future. And then on, I was like, you know what? I should just I need to prioritize, like, what I want to do. Like, I'm getting older. Like, I need to really just kind of, like, start working towards my dreams. Like, I can't, like, be working just a 9 to 5 and just thinking that my life is to be a lifer. Like, I know I'm not supposed to be a lifer. And I was working daytime while also working nighttime because I was getting booked so much to, like, host events and stuff like that. But I wasn't really performing. I was just showing up as a persona. And then the pandemic happened, and people were just starting to, like, request me to do, like, the video ones. What do you call those? Like the
like the live, like the at-home performances.
The at-home
and stuff,
performances and stuff. So I did a few. Then I guess somebody from Miami, like, saw me perform on one of those videos and hired me to do the Wynwood Pride thing. And I did, like, this whole thing, which I'm actually performing that tomorrow now that I think about it. But it's like the whole Beyonce Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And I did it, and it was, like, fab. It was so much fun. Like, my friends helped me film it and everything. And from then on, like, people started to see me as a performer because there was no parties for me to host. So they were like, well, we still want to see you. We still want to see you, like, you know, do your thing. So I remember my first gig back during the pandemic was Paul Tomasiello.
Yep.
He hired me to do something on the $3 bill, Backyard with Magenta. And I did it. I did this whole, like, mix. And from that moment on, it got word that I was performing out again. And Janelle and Riffy were the other people to, like, hire me to do a show. And then that's when Candy had came back from filming Drag Race. And so they gave her a residency at $3 bill. This is all, like, with the masks. We were performing with the masks. And so she was like, oh, I did, like, Midnight Sky. And she saw it. She was like, that was cunt. You need to do it at my show. And I want to have you here every Friday whenever the day was. So I did that with her. And then from then on, people were just like, oh, I heard you're a cunt performer. Do this, do this. So I started working with everyone, literally everyone, that first, like, few months of the pandemic, which I think it was after August of 2020. So from August to, like, December, I was working literally nonstop.
Damn.
And we got stopped because you know that new, was it Omicron or something?
Yeah.
A new bitch pulled up to the scene and she was like,
sequel.
No. She was like, oh, there's more. So we stopped performing for a good 2 months. Right.
Omicron.
So Miss Omicron tried to take over, and then we restarted everything. And then I remember Janelle and Tsunami Muse asked me to join them at Pieces for one time. It was my first time doing it, and then I had a really good response, and then it just became a thing where they just like, oh, we do need a third person because Candy ain't doing this anymore because, you know, she's
Mm-hmm.
doing bigger and better things now. So would you like to join us and be our third person? And I said, absolutely. Because I would go to their shows before the pandemic. Like I
Right.
was there like almost every Monday. Like me and Matthew would just kind of make a night out of it and just go and see them because they were so ridiculous, those women, those girls. And so, yeah, I started to really like, I really enjoyed, I knew I enjoyed performing, but I just didn't know how to go into it without anybody really to like help me. And I wasn't going to do any that sounds really crazy, but I wasn't going to
No,
do
I
no
get it.
competitions. I was like, it's not that serious for me. Like,
Right.
I like to perform to express myself, to like dance, to like really just live in my fantasy, not to like try to prove to you that I'm
Win something or yeah.
So that's the only reason I never did competitions or anything. And from then on, I just like people just kept coming and seeing me and seeing videos of me in different places, and they were like, "Oh, we want to hire you." So I just this kind of became like my full-time judge.
Damn.
And it's been going very well, if I must say so myself. It's been like I think 4 straight years of doing it, and then yeah, and I've been in nightlife for like 6.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing though.
Yeah, it's such a weird turn of
Congrats.
events, but I feel like Aquaria had a similar kind of like way into drag too. Like she was a club kid first,
Yeah.
but she was younger. I started off way later than she did, but I look at her career, I'm like, well, that makes sense. You know, like you started off a club kid, and now you're like one of the biggest performers in the world.
Yeah.
You know, which is so admirable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's how I got into it. But I will always say that Matthew was my first like drag mother. 'Cause she pushed
see.
me.
Yep.
And like she took me everywhere. She took me under her wing. She would like we would go to Paris. We would go to Coachella events. We would do like Fashion Week events, and it would just be like the Mazerbate and Beau Jangles show.
Yep.
And it was always like such a fun time because we like we have a genuinely good time together.
Yeah.
And we just kind of like made a brand out of it, and then we kind of like just started doing our own thing. And well, he was already doing his own thing. I had to like find my footing into something and find my way into what I really enjoy to do, and that was performing. And I just once I find my footing, I was like, I'm not letting go of this. I have it by the
Exactly.
neck, and I have not moved it since.
Yeah. That's amazing. And look how much has opened up.
Yeah, honestly. and,
Once
like,
you-
it's made my life so like it's changed my life by like 180. That's the right degree, right? It's opposite.
I get those confused.
Right. It's
I-
not 360 because I didn't go back to where I
360 is a
started.
circle. Exactly.
So
So
it's 180 or 160, one of those.
I think 180. 180, yeah, because it's 180 is half of 360.
Okay,
I
so-
assume.
I did a 180 and I was like, I focused on what I wanted to do, and then like because at first I wasn't really taking it so seriously. Like I would show up to gigs like really like drunk, or like get really drunk during the gigs, and I don't really drink as much as I used to, because girl, I used to be gone like because I was so nervous and had stage
Yeah, of
fright,
course.
and like I would see everybody
getting
else
free
doing
drinks
it too, and they
too.
get free drinks, and I was just so like, I don't know what I'm doing, but then everybody be like, well, we don't know what we're doing. So I was like, oh, so we're at least we're on the same page. This is not like foreign territory.
Yep.
Like I'm not like the only dumb drunk one. We all kind of are, or some of them are high, but I can never get high before a performance. I will give you nothing.
Yep.
I will give you
Same.
nothing. And yeah, I kind of like it's opened a lot of doors for me, and it's made me really appreciate the art form as a whole, because I was always just doing it just to like kind of like express my femininity, because I needed to find an outlet to do that. And once I found drag, I was like, oh, this is it. Like I get to live my Beyonce fantasy every night.
Exactly.
Say less.
I'm there, right.
So, yeah, I think that I made the right choice. For
Yeah.
Sure.
How did drag bring you closer to your femininity, or what did it make you discover about your already existing
Because at
femininity?
first I was so like not wanting to be considered a drag queen, because I just thought that it like fucked up with my whole gender like identity and my thoughts on it, because I'm like, if they see me as a drag queen, they're gonna think that I'm just like a man in a wig trying to make some chump change or whatever. But in reality, I'm just a performer, and I live my life in a very feminine way. I am just performing just how the drag queens are performing, and it's also a
Exactly.
career like that. It's a literal career. So like Sasha Colby don't be just like she's a drag performer because that's what's her career. That's what she does
Exactly.
well. But that doesn't take away
Exactly.
from her womanhood, you know. And I think that also watching her and watching all the trans performers that I've seen over the years, especially the ones in Miami, it made me realize, I'm like, oh, that don't mean nothing. Like, I can't take away anybody's perception of what it is, but like, as long as I know that I'm still like a feminine being, a femme, outside of what I'm portraying on stage, then I'm okay with it, because I need to be the one that has to be okay with those feelings, and I'm the one that has to like face my gender issues, you know, because those are my issues, you know. Your perception of me will be completely different than mine, and that's okay. And it took me a while to really realize that, especially with drag, because then I started getting confused over it until I realized, I'm like, girl, this is a job. This is your job. You're literally just doing your job. Yeah. Whatever you take off at night does not take away from your femness, if that's a word. And I think that drag really helped me like really find my voice in my own feminine body, in my own feminine mind, because it just made everything feel like it has a place in my life, but it's not my life. It's not who I am.
Completely.
It's what I do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, completely. It's like drag is what you bring yourself to.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yourself is the consistent piece.
Yeah.
In all the things that you're going to do in your life. And regardless, like the things that we do shouldn't make up who we are, period. Regardless.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not a podcast host. I do host podcasts, but I'm still Joey. I'm still Bad Bossy. Like, that's just me. I'm going to bring myself to that, and I'm going to bring myself to DJing and to other ventures I go into. But it doesn't take away from myself necessarily. Exactly. If anything, it might add to it.
Yeah.
You know, and then that relationship kind of reciprocates. You give whatever you learned back into that art or whatever it is that you're going into or pursuing. Yeah. If that made any type of sense.
No, that did, because it's just like you said, it's really, it's your job title is not, like when I was doing visual styling, I wasn't going around like, hi, my name is Beau Jangles, I'm a visual stylist. Like, no, it's that's just what I do. Like, I leave that after I clocked out. That person just is still there in that place, at Bloomingdale's.
Yeah.
You know, like that identity I don't take home. So why would I take home, now that I do drag, that my life, I'm not just a drag queen 24/7, you know. I'm a drag queen when I'm on stage. I'm a drag queen when I'm at an event. Mm-hmm. I'm a drag queen when I am entertaining anybody. After that, I'm Beau Jangles, baby. I'm Beau.
Yeah.
You know, that's it.
Yeah, people don't realize how, like, weird titles are. Like, I've never really liked them. Like,
oh, I hate titles.
You know, like, we wear them proudly when we need to, but they have, you know, hours. They have rates. They have times where they exist and times where they really don't need to.
They have times where they clock in and they have times where they clock out.
Exactly. And you bring up Bloomingdale's, it, like, resonated because it's like, you know, all of us with like daytime jobs or whatever, it's like we almost always want to lead with like that being the first piece about us when we introduce ourselves to somebody. And it's like, why is that relevant?
That's honestly part of like the least important part of like
exactly
whatever. It's kind of like those conversations, you know, like when like in LA, like when you ever have a conversation with anybody, the first question is, what do you do?
Ew.
And I'm like, well, hi, my name is Beau. Thank you. I don't live here, if that answers anything that you're trying to ask me. But I do, however, do drag in New York successfully. Thank you. And that's it. Like, it's just like, what do you want to know? Are you going to try to hire me for something? Like,
right.
What's the tea, sis? Like,
yeah, it's like people either just having no
form of conversational skills.
Yeah. Very weak.
Is that the only thing
skills.
You care to know about anybody? Like, do you not care about anything else? Oh,
exactly.
Do you live here? Like, where are you from? Like, get to know the person before like anything. And I get that like what you do has something to do with that, but not all of it. Like, and also that shouldn't be your first question. Like,
exactly.
It just
hi,
makes no
hello,
sense.
How are you, diva? You know what I mean? Something.
What happened to hi, hello?
What happened to hi, hello? Exactly.
Like, where are you from? Where did you grow up? What are your parents still here? Mm-hmm. You know, whatever. Like, there's so many other things that you need to know before you need to know what somebody does for a living. Because I feel like you're just trying to, like, first of all, calculate how much money I have and make. You're trying to, like, either get some clout or whatever you can get from me or whatever. It's just like, girl, it's not that important.
It's weird, and that's the thing. And most of the answers you get from the what do you do, like, they might be cute for 2 seconds, but it's really nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, because what else am I going to say after that? After, oh, I do drag in New York. What's your follow-up question to that?
Exactly. Like when I was at the Breakfast Club and people would like bring it up to me and be like, you produce for da da da. I would just be like, yeah. And most of the response I would get from that would mostly be a question for their own information or intel. It'd be like, so how's it working with so and so? How is it when you met this person? Which like is fierce, and I love it, and I worked hard for that, and it's cool to talk about it. But also it's like there's so much more to all of us that's so much more fascinating and in-depth and actually worth something than just that shit. And that reminds me of those like TikToks that are going around now where it's like all these fuckers with like little mics asking people on the street like,
oh yeah,
I don't, no shade and no hate to anyone, that if that's your bag, that's your bag. But like for me, I find that so corny in my opinion, like asking people on the street whether it's choreographed or not, like what do you do, da da da, like in
Can
a
I
way.
see your house?
Yeah.
Like, girl, why? Get out of my face.
Exactly.
Why you want to see my house?
Exactly. And even for the person that the question is being asked to, like for me, like I understand the idea. It's like it's showing how many cool people there are in this amazing city we're blessed to live in. But also at the same time, it's like for me, if I were one of those people, I think my idea of celebrating my work and what I do looks different than answering to some random person on the street and then showing off, you know, whatever place I may live in or what pay I make. It's not glamorous at the moment, you know, just to show. So it's like, it's just a little, like to me personally, me as a person, that shit just never has meant a lot to me to begin with.
Me either. Like,
you know,
I mean, yeah, no, I honestly think that like, it's kind of like a cop out to the fact that you have no conversational skills. I think that's what it comes down to, because unless you're really trying to get something out of me, there's real no reason to like really badger me with that for the first question of you. People barely ask you for your name nowadays.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, they
Actually
don't. That like hit a chord in me. People do that all the time, especially like when you're working with them.
Yeah.
Like you'll be on set or something and people just walk and they're like, yes, I'm going to be doing these angles and stuff. And nowadays I'll always be like, oh, by the way, Joey, nice to meet you. People get so shaken up by that and by eye contact and basic.
Eye contact is weird, huh?
Isn't it? You have good eye contact.
I do.
I noticed that this whole time. I'm like, you have great eye contact.
Oh no, I feel like that's another way to show people that I'm listening. You know, and also like I think it's important to like, you know, if I'm having a conversation with you, like, you know, we can talk.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a rushed conversation or anything. This is a real conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to like have some sort of eye contact and yeah.
Yeah, it's also a really good way to flirt too.
It really is.
That's like if I were to pick the one of many tricks that I use to bag people, eye contact will get somebody down.
My cousin, she has been doing this since we used to go out a lot together back in the day. And she has the most amazing eye contact. And the moment she locks eyes with that man or person,
it's over.
It's a wrap. I'm like, so should I leave? Because obviously you're
really?
She is kind of amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah, she just has this very sultry look to her too. You know, she's like dark hair, like kind of like darker olive skin, really big eyes. But like when she like smokes them, they just kind of look like very mysterious.
Oh, that's so hot.
And she's like the best eyelashes. Yeah, she's just fab. I love her. Shout out to Ashley.
I love that.
She's con. She's really con. She taught me, I guess is the word, to like just honestly, like that's how you lead. It's like with your eyes. Because people get either, that's how you can also tell, like people will either get nervous or they'll react. Well, you'll get reaction regardless.
Exactly.
Whether it be like a no, a strong yes, a maybe, or a flirtation back. But there will be some sort of interaction once you make eye contact with the person you want to make eye contact with.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And if they get shaken up, that tells you that it's like, okay, well, not to quote Tony, but like, I guess he wasn't man enough for me. Like, all right, on to the next. Like, all right. Like, if you can't look at me in the eyes here, how are you supposed to look at me in other settings that I want to be with you in, you know?
Exactly. That's tea. You see?
Mind of a master here, both of us.
Exact. I believe so. It's like the eyes. What is it? What do people
are
say?
the window to the soul?
Yes.
I know that other quote where it's like the eyes are the nipples of the face. That other thing. And then Bimini butchered it on UK season 2 of Drag Race. That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Bimini is so kind.
She is. No, that's a cunt bitch.
Isn't it? Because she's probably like, she's not like only is she hot and gorgeous, but like I know like we could all get drinks or a bevy or a fucking coffee and just be chatting down for a minute.
I agree. I've never met her though.
No, I never have either.
No.
But sometimes you just know.
Yeah.
With these girls, which is what I like. I love seeing a person just being like, not just like, oh, they're gorgeous, but like, I like them. Like, I like that girl. I think like it's such an underrated emotion.
Yeah.
To have for people.
Especially in New York.
Yeah, people are weird. People are weird everywhere, but like, people are weird. That's why when you brought up LA, I still haven't been to LA. I'm like,
you're not really missing. I mean, it's beautiful though.
It's
like
gorgeous.
I feel like it just gives you like a good mood because it's always sunny. There's always something like nice that you can do, but it's just more. What bothers me is like I don't know how to drive. Like I don't have a license or anything, and I'm not planning on learning anytime soon. I love being a passenger princess.
Exactly.
But like that's the only inconvenience to me. But everything else, like the lifestyle there, in theory, is very healthy and very good for you. You know, because the sunlight is good for you.
Yeah.
You know, nice walks when you go to the mountain, to like when you go trekking or whatever. That's nice. Erewhon is great. Expensive but great.
Yeah.
And people just try to live a health. I don't know what it is about over there, but everybody wants to live a healthier lifestyle for some reason.
Interesting.
Which is con.
Which is kind.
Health is con.
Health is kind, and green juice is kind.
Oh, green juice is real con. I love
With
green
extra
juice.
pineapple in it. Kind.
I might go to Juice Press after this, actually.
Oof.
I like a good Juice Press is really good. I like
love
their
a juice.
juices.
Oh, juice is so underrated.
It is.
I was talking about it with my friend Jason the other week. So underrated.
I
Whether
love
it's
it.
like a pressed juice or like straight up like a fucking like juicy juice.
Yeah.
Like sugar and everything in it. It's so good.
It's better than soda, first of all, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't drink soda. I would have to really crave soda.
I'm a
to have
Diet
soda.
Coke girl, but I do second the
Yeah.
opinion that juice is still better than
Yeah.
soda. Like adults that get juice on an airplane, I'm like, my kind of girl. I love watching a grown lady get an apple juice on a plane. I'm like, you're a bad bitch. Okay.
Oh. Does it kind of have champagne in it?
Ooh, that sounds
Like a
good.
mimosa. Like an apple mimosa? I don't think I've ever
I've
had
never
apple
tried
juice.
that.
I don't know. I don't think I've tried it either. Now that I said it out loud, I don't know why I said it. I thought you meant orange, but you said apple. But apple could be a
Wait.
moment. That could be a moment.
Okay, so queer elementary school. And an apple mimosa. Wait, that sounds so good.
I think it would. I feel like the
Appalosa.
champagne and the apple like juice of it
Yes.
will give like something good.
Even like in the fall too, like maybe like a whiskey and like apple juice moment. Put some cinnamon in there. And I'm not even a drinker like that, but I'm like, this
I'm like,
actually
you're-
sounds good.
You're talking like a real mixologist.
Oh wow, definitely not
You
me.
said cinnamon. I was like, wait, now you're putting ingredients in this bitch?
Dry ingredients, yeah, absolutely. Things
Okay,
around the rim.
work.
Oh no, the only thing I mix are my Red Bull and my Lifesaver gummies before the club.
You love Lifesaver gummies.
I love
You've
them.
mentioned them at least 3 times already.
I know because like I love eating them, but they're also like the way I look at Red Bull. Like I identify with that. I'm almost in Red Bull colors today, sugar-free Red Bull colors. But I like look at Lifesavers and I'm like, I just identify with those. Like I have them in my bag at the club, and I know I'm gonna be okay for the rest of the night.
Wow.
What's your
Are they the
favorite?
gummies?
Yes.
I think I've had those. I've definitely had those, but I don't think I've. You see, when you go to a store, those are not the first things that I would like pick up.
Yes.
For me, it's like a lollipop, like a blow pop.
Love a lollipop.
I've been eating blow pops since the 90s.
Oh, you're a blow pop girl.
Oh yeah. Well, because the Spice Girls had those lollipops.
Exactly.
And from when they
Yes.
discontinued them, I had to find the blow pops.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in Puerto Rico. We have these like blow pops that are like mints. So do you know those big
Ooh.
circle mints?
Yeah, yeah.
They put like a stick on it, and it's an actual lollipop. So whenever I go to Puerto Rico, I buy like bags of them and I bring them because it's so
Oh.
fab to like suck on a lollipop, and it's actually minty and not like fruity. 'Cause
Yes.
sometimes like when you drink and you have fruity breath at the same time, it kind of mixes into something not so cute.
Exactly. And even like your breath after, it feels like you're just like an 8-year-old all over again in a
Yeah.
not youthful sense.
And not con.
No,
Not con at all.
not at all. Minty breath is kind.
But yeah, I've always been a blow pop girl. Like I will go if you ever see me at the club. 9 times out, well, not anymore because I'm trying to be more dental friendly. But you know, insurance is very expensive. But I will most likely have like a blow pop in my bag.
Genius.
Usually sour apple.
Sour apple is so
or
good.
Cherry. Because cherry
I
also
agree.
gives you like a nice like red tongue and it's cute.
Yes, exactly. A little lip tint, if you will, and
Mhm.
whatnot. I love
Yeah.
cherry sour apple. That's a really good one. The Banks too always used to have really good lollipops.
Oh my god.
Aren't those so
I
good?
fully forgot about those.
In the little like clear rapping that's really loud. Oh my gosh, still to this day, like back when I go home and I like drive to the drive-through bank, I will literally ask, I'll be like, when you bring me back my checking card that has nothing in it, can you give me some lollipops, please, ma'am? So good.
Those are the flat ones, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
the flat circular ones almost look like a quarter in a way.
And they have like 3 colors.
Yes.
I like the orange with the green and the white.
Yes.
That's my favorite one.
Oh my gosh, those ones are so good. Another one too that's like kind of underrated are the Jolly Rancher ones they have around Valentine's Day. The heart ones.
Oh,
Those?
yes. Well, they have them. They have different flavors, right? There's like
Yeah.
a purple one.
Mm-hmm. It's it's cherry, watermelon, and then it's one more. I think like pink lemonade. Now
That's
those are
hot.
kind.
Actually, I don't pay attention to those enough. I should. You see, you give me very Jolly Rancher, very because Lifesaver gummies kind of taste like a Jolly Rancher.
Yes, they do.
I remember when I was a kid, I was not allowed to eat Jolly Ranchers because remember they were so tiny, they were like a little bullet.
That's right.
The
Yeah.
little ones. So I would always try to sneak the blue raspberry ones, and then they would find out because your mouth turns blue.
Yep.
And then my grandma would always be like, "I told you not to fucking eat that shit." I ate it.
Babe, how can I resist?
How could I resist? Because she had a store. She had like a store in her apartment in the front balcony, and in the back she would sell like beer, which is why I have been drinking for a very long time.
Gorge.
So I would just like sneak and eat all her candy. But now I don't have so much of a sweet tooth anymore. So like I don't really like crave like sweet things as much. But when I was a kid, my favorite thing was like the cookies and cream Hershey Kisses.
Oh.
They were slap.
I knew you were a lady.
Oh, girl.
Oh, my gosh. Leave it in the fridge or freezer for a minute.
Ooh.
And you
Because
break
it'd be
it
hot
off.
in Puerto Rico, so we had to put them in the fridge.
Exactly.
We had to put them in the fridge.
You break it apart, you could hear it.
Oh my
snap in half.
God.
My God.
Just so good.
Oh, I love those. There was who was it the other day? I was watching a podcast. It was Julia Fox was on it. That's right.
I think I saw something about that.
Yeah, she was on those two. I think they're like 2 gay guys as well. They have a podcast. One of them is so fucking hot. My God, I'm like, I'll take him. But she was like sitting there the whole interview with her bag on the table, plopped over, and she just like was eating a cookies and cream Hershey's the whole time.
my
Just
God.
had it open. She's like, "You guys want?" By the way, I'm like, "That's kind."
Now that's a compliment.
Having a snack and offering it to people, a convenient snack you could fit in your purse that's open to at least a sample for everyone.
Right.
Kind.
And also, like, they come with so many little tabs. So it's like you could share with at least 7 people.
Yes.
It's like 333.
Yeah, everyone gets a little strip.
Yeah, just fab.
So kind.
No, I like them in every form because in Puerto Rico they had them in nugget form. They had them in like kisses form.
Oh,
they also
my
had the flat
gosh.
ones that we have here. Oh, damn! Now I want one.
I know what I'm doing. First moment I touch down there.
Oh, there's so much to do in Puerto Rico. I love
I
Puerto
need to
Rico. I need to
go.
go back. I haven't gone. I went last year. I try to go at least once a year.
Mm-hmm.
See like my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, and stuff. But I haven't gone this year. Maybe I'll go like in the fall. I feel like I like to go to Puerto Rico when it's like cold and nasty here.
Off season a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's still nicer over there, but it's not a New York fall
Yeah, no.
per se.
It's like, and it's also not that. It is humid. I was about to lie. But it's still really comfortable.
Like
comparison.
a nice humid. It keeps
Yeah.
you moist. It's not dry, which we don't like.
And also like you're not wearing any clothes, so who cares?
Exactly.
You know, just walking around in a bikini top and just like give it.
I need to go one day. What else do you have planned for the rest of the year?
I definitely
Or at
wanna
least the
travel.
summer.
I think I really want to go to Europe this summer, but I don't know. Like I feel like the last time I went was when I went to Barcelona and I had a blast. Like I love Barcelona, but I want to go somewhere. I know like I have friends that are gonna be like visiting other European countries, so I kind of want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
My birthday's in the summer. I'm a summer baby. I'm a Leo, so like
When's your birthday again?
July 23rd. I'm
Gorge.
like the first day of Leo
Love.
season.
Love it.
So I don't know. Oh, I'm gonna see Beyonce on the 1st of August in Boston.
Oh, that's hot.
So I'm thinking about if I do go to Europe, I'll probably do like after, cause it'll be like a honeymoon to like seeing Beyonce. I can
Exactly.
just regroup
Reflect.
and just have like, I just saw Beyonce.
Yep. Absolutely. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I don't know what to do for my actual birthday, but we'll see.
Aw.
Pride is coming up. It's gonna be a really busy month. I have so much shit going on. I need to start using my calendar app. I don't use it enough. I don't use it enough now that I think about it.
She's cute.
She's cute.
We love
I
her.
heard she's very cute. But I work, like I told you, I work off here. So
And
I'm
must I
trying to be more
add-
like organized when it comes to things like that.
Honestly, I sound granny for this, but like a paper, like an actual calendar, next level kind. Like that's when you become like mother. Everything is there.
Yeah, that's fab.
Get
I was
one.
actually thinking about coming out with my own calendar.
Please let me know when pre-orders up.
Oh
I will
God, for
be first in
sure.
line.
I really wanted to do that. I was talking to Mariah about it, and she was like, "You should definitely do it." I was
Oh,
like,
that would
would
be
be
so
fab.
hot.
right?
Yes.
I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work on it. Gonna put my feelers out. This is me putting my feelers out.
Okay. Love. Well, when that's on sale, please let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I love you and I love a calendar. It's like my two favorite things ever.
I
But
want it to be like multifunctional too, though. Because now that I think about it, you're right. Like if you have like lines on every date, so you could just kind of like squiggle like whatever. Because some people just
Exactly.
write like really big on the big square.
Yep.
Maybe I could just have like lines or something. I don't know if that's the thing, but
That would be
everything's
cute.
possible.
Everything is. That would really be cute, actually.
Yeah.
Because I write big and obnoxious, so I would need something to.
Consolidate your handwriting.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be on the lookout for that soon.
For cheesy.
Thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
I
Thank you.
adore you. Like, it was so nice to actually be able to, like, sit down and chat. Because we always see each other in passing. And I would see you and Masturbate together, like, back in the days when I was just starting to go out in the clubs and whatnot.
Oh my
and I would just
God.
always be like, I love both of them, and I love her. And it's so nice to get to know you, like, throughout this time and following each other on Instagram.
I know. Oh, this has been so
everything.
great. I've had so much fun. Like, I love this. You should be very proud of yourself. This is like a
Thank
cute
you.
studio, too. You said I'm up and come. I got it. You got the coin.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. And when it does, over.
She said a talk show. That would be fab. You as a talk show host. I mean, this is like a talk show, but
Yeah.
like, you make a really cunt talk show host because you make everything so easy to do.
Thank
Make it
you.
so very homey and very comfortable.
Thank you. That's one of the dreams. That would be hot. Every day would be a new look, a new color, a new cut.
Ooh, a new style.
Exactly. You get all the references. It would be a moment. There might be a live show coming soon too.
Ooh. Well, I'll stay tuned for that.
So,
for
and we
sure.
are looking for performers.
Ooh. Again, I will stay tuned for that.
I'll keep you in the loop of all that because having you there would be amazing.
Oh,
So,
I would totally be down for sure.
hot. So, we'll talk about that off camera. 'Cause
Period.
they don't need to know yet. Photo shoots and everything have not been discussed. Deals have not been signed, but y'all see soon. But you let all the divas know where they could find your beautiful self.
You could find me at Beau Jangles on Instagram and TikTok. That is BeauJangles. Also on Venmo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gorge. And y'all can follow me at Bad Bussy on Instagram, _and_pod on Instagram as well. Please leave the podcast a review. A lot of people have been telling me to tell y'all that. Y'all know I don't care much about that, but now I do. And it makes the show better, makes us look better. You'll get a better show in return. You won't get like nudes or something like that in return because I'm past those days of soliciting, whole pics and stuff like that for things in return. Shout out to that though. It was a really good air of mine. But we're business lady now. But nonetheless, leave the podcast review. Leave it 5 stars. That would be hot on anything you listen to because it's definitely a 5-star podcast. So yeah,
Period.
I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.